Hey guys, Cronus Falls here, and today I'm bringing you a champion guide on Gorgorab. So Gorgorab is an undead epic magic affinity, and he is a turn meter booster slash healer slash reviver, just an all-around support champion, and very good for this game. Let's go ahead and get into his skills real quick. So his A1 is probably the least important part of his kit, but when booked it has a 75% chance of removing one random buff, which is pretty decent. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend building accuracy on him if it's going to cost you speed. So you'll see my build in a second here. But then on his A2, fills the turn meter of all allies by 15% and places a 50% increased attack buff on all allies for 2 turns. So this is very good in general because of turn meter boost, and increased attack is nice for nukers. He is very good in the arena, especially in the lower stages. As you get higher, you're competing with Arbiters and Lysandras and stuff. Not quite as good, but still very good when you're coming up in the game. And then his A3 here, Animate, revives any dead allies with 25% HP, then heals all allies by 25%. So this is very good as well. This is his healing. 25% heal, not amazing, but when paired with an AoE revive, very good. It is on a 5-turn cooldown. So basically, when I bring him into dungeons, he's going to be taking the place of Reliquary Tender, because he basically does what she does a little bit better. He gives turn meter, he gives heals just like she does. He does revive, but it's AoE instead of single target. He does not clear buffs, but still I think his AoE revive does make him a little more worthwhile. And then finally, his aura here increases ally speed in the arena by 23%. Very good arena aura. So you will often see him in Gold 3, Gold 4 as a leader in the team, bringing that 23% aura. So like I said, very good in the arena coming up until you reach the later stages of Gold 4. Alright, so let's take a look at the build now. So in the weapon I've got him in here, just has 13 speed, 6% HP, not bad. On the helmet, 31 resistance, 10 speed, 10 accuracy. I wish this had rolled more speed, but that's just how it is. On the shield, 14 speed, 5% defense here. On the gloves, they are HP percent gloves, 50%. Unfortunately, triple roll on flat attack, but they were epic, so the 3 skills they had to start with were all flat stats, unfortunately. They did roll into speed, though. These are definitely some gloves that I had pretty early on in the game and rolled them up, so they were just kind of sitting around for me to throw on him. And then he's in a defense percent chest. It is in the speed set, no speed substats, but it does have 12% HP, 12% crit. And then he is in speed gloves, 27 resistance, 11 accuracy, that's about it. But he is in all speed sets so that we can get his speed as high as possible. We also have him in a defense ring. It brings 20% defense, which is nice, as well as 5% HP. And then a defense amulet with 13% crit damage and good flat HP rolls. And then I put him in a defense banner. You could absolutely go with an accuracy banner if you do want that A1 to land. But since I wasn't worried about it, I just got some defense with the best speed I had, so 10. And so for the total build stats, he's looking at about 41k HP, 3400 defense, 228 speed, which is a little low. Typically you'd build him higher, but I didn't want to strip off any gear from my main champions in order to do that. And then, like I said, accuracy pretty low, 111, so he's not going to be landing that A1 very often. Let's go ahead and take a look at his masteries here. So in offense, I've taken them straight down the standard line to War Master. And then in the support tree, what I went ahead and did, I considered taking Lay on Hands because that would increase his heals by a little bit. But I also kind of wanted to go over here to Arcane Celerity and... oh, actually, I don't know why I have Arcane Celerity on him. This is not worth it at all. I think I was just taking that down to Evil Eye, but... and Charged Focus. Yeah, I don't know. I must have been sleepy when I was doing these masteries or something. They don't make any sense to me. Let's go ahead and re-roll them right now. So since I'm not building him for accuracy, we're just going to do the straight line down to War Master. Get that done, and then we're going to grab the HP here. We are going to take Lay on Hands to increase the healing by 5%. Exalt and Death here might be good. He does not cast shields, so we are going to take that. And then increased amount of healing and value of shield buffs placed on this champion by 10% if the target ally has 40% HP or less. They will if you revive them, so we'll definitely take that. We're going to want rapid response as well so that he can get some more turn meter as his buffs expire. Then we'll probably, we could take Merciful Aid, but honestly I think Cycle of Magic might be better. Actually, no, we want Evil Eye, so what we're going to do is we're going to take Laura's Steel, we're going to take Evil Eye, then we're going to come down here to Spirit Haste. It increases his HP for, or his speed rather, for each dead ally, so that's really good for a reviver. And finally, we're going to take Lasting Gifts just to increase his increased attack duration. So that's going to be the Masteries I recommend. Sorry for the ones that were originally there, I don't know what I was thinking. But let's go ahead and move on. So that's the build, guys. Let's go ahead and show them in some dungeons. First of all, let's go into Ice Golem Peak. So I'm basically going to be bringing him into the typical team that I bring in here for videos. So we've got Greybeard as our lead with that 30% aura. Stag Knight's going to be our AoE decreased defense. Gorgorab is coming in for our Reliquary Tender to be our reviver / turn meter booster. And then Apothecary giving us that speed boost as well as turn meter and heals. And Kale coming in for the damage. So let's go ahead and get into this run. And we'll see here, it should work pretty well. Like I said, the nice thing about Gorgorab compared to Reliquary Tender is that he does an AoE revive. So that gives us a little bit more faith that if multiple people go down, we're going to be able to recover from it. Because with Reliquary Tender's revive being on a 5-turn cooldown and only working on one ally, it's not necessarily guaranteed that you're going to be able to come back from a death, because if it starts spiraling, you get 2 or 3, you are probably done. But with Gorgorab, he can absolutely turn it around in an instant. So as you can see, we're making pretty quick work of this first wave here. Gonna be getting through it at about the 45-second mark and on to the second. Now this is the dangerous wave. Once those shrieks come out and we get the reflect damage on us, it's going to be looking a little hairy. But luckily we do have an AoE revive, so even if a couple of our people do go down, we'll be looking okay. Our Greybeard taking a bunch of damage here. He gets healed up by Apothecary. Stag Knight hurting himself a little bit on that reflect damage as well, but we're still looking pretty good. We get a bunch of freezes out there from Greybeard. And some heals coming through now from Gorgorab, keeping us healthy. So it looks like we're going to be getting through this just fine at around the 1 minute 30-second mark. As soon as we can get through this last Terror Beast here. And there we go. So 1 minute 30 seconds onto the boss. And so here, again, the revives are going to be really clutch if someone does happen to go down. Those big slams, if they don't come off at the right time, can really mess you up. But since he is built pretty tanky, 3400 defense and over 40k HP, he should survive way better than the rest of them will, with the exception of maybe Apothecary. So as long as he's still around to bring us back up, we'll be looking really solid. So this part of the fight definitely takes a long time, as you all probably know, so I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead towards the end and we will see how we do. Alrighty, so we're coming up towards the end of the fight here, and we are still looking pretty good. Gorgorab's been healing us up as we go. We haven't had anyone go down yet, and so I think we might be getting the last slam right here, unless it's already happened. No, it looks like we're good, so we are just going to be moving on to the end of the boss fight. 3 minutes 50 seconds, which is not at all bad for a team of 3 rares and 2 epics. Let's see, anything good here? Not particularly, not the worst piece in the world, but not that useful for me. So that is Ice Golem. Let's go ahead and get into Dragon here. So Dragon, again, we're going to be doing pretty much the same team, except we are going to be bringing in War Maiden instead of the Stag Knight. So this is actually the team I've been running for this all-rare Dragon tournament, except I replaced Reliquary Tender with Gorgorab, and as you'll see here, should work absolutely fine. So we come in here, and it's basically the same idea. You know, we're going to get our CC from our Greybeard. We got a couple freezes there. Going to be getting our AoE decreased defense from our War Maiden, poisons from Kale, and speed ups from both our Apothecary and our Gorgorab. I feel like this actually works a little bit better than with Reliquary Tender in here, but seeing as this is an all rare tournament, I obviously can't bring Gorgorab in, so it's still working pretty fine. I think I've had a 100% success rate on the tournament so far. We're looking pretty good. These waves do tend to take a little bit longer than the ones in Ice Golem, simply because we don't have an affinity advantage like we do there. So we're probably going to be looking at more like the 1 minute to 1 minute 15-second mark to get through these waves. We do get a lot of freezes off there from Greybeard, which is nice, keeping us safe. As you saw earlier, War Maiden went down, but Gorgorab brought her right back up. So another great thing about having him in here, especially on the Dragon team, is that we're cycling Kale's poisons around faster once we get to the boss. So we are going to make sure that as he does his inhale, we are getting more poisons off on him. And the more poisons we have, the less likely we're going to get hit by that exhale attack, which is the real danger in the dragon fight. As you can see here, we're at the 1 minute 20-second mark now, well into this wave. Greybeard goes down, unfortunately, but we should be getting a revive right here. There we go. So now he's back up and looking strong. War Maiden taking a bit of a pounding. So that's unfortunate for us. He's still going to have a couple turns before he comes back around with that. But considering he's going so fast and we've got 2 turn meter boosters, he's going to bring it around pretty quickly. I think it might already be on the next turn. Let's see, there we go. War Maiden is back, over 50% health because of our mastery that gives a little bit of additional healing if they are under 50% or 40%, I think it was. So we are looking pretty solid here. We should be getting our AoE decreased defense. There we go. And so now we're going to be able to move through them a lot quicker. No freezes right there, unfortunately, but still moving through it quite quickly. Obviously, this would work a lot faster if our War Maiden was 6-star and was doing more damage for us. Greybeard about to go down again. If he does, though, we should be getting a revive coming through here. There we go. And now he is back up to full, and that's what Gorgorab is doing for us. So looking very solid here. Going to be coming up on the boss right around the 2 minute 35-second mark. And there goes the Tyrell onto the boss. And so like I said, now that we have 2 turn meter boosters working for us, we're going to be bringing around Kale's poisons much faster. There we go, got a couple off there. And so now the dragon's finally going to do his exhale. We've already got a couple poisons built up, and we're going to get some more here. Should be able to cycle around to Kale once more because of those 2 boosts. Another poison coming up, another one from War Maiden. So boom, we get through that just fine. Take a bit of damage, but Gorgorab says, here everyone have some healing, and we're back up looking healthy. Get the decreased defense from our War Maiden going. So we're looking really solid here. This is probably going to be about a 4-minute run, I would guess. Just depending on if we get stunned. So let's see here. Unfortunately, we don't have any sort of War Master on these 2, otherwise this would be going a lot faster. If the War Maiden was 6-starred, then we would have War Master coming through and we'd be getting a lot more done here. Get the decreased defense off though, which is nice. It's going to make our War Master procs do more. Got a couple poisons from Kale, so now we're going to definitely get through this inhale. And beautiful. Let's see if we can get some healing here from Gorgorab. Not quite yet. Looks like it's still on cooldown. Alright, but we are coming up towards the end. I don't think he's going to get another inhale off for us. We get some more turn meter boost. Everyone is looking a little bit low, but we're at the end. He's going to die from the poisons as soon as he gets to take a turn. We're just waiting for that turn meter to fill up, basically. And here we go. Dragon is dead. Alright, so 4 minutes 10 seconds. Not too bad. Obviously not the fastest thing in the world. I'll go ahead and keep this piece. It looks pretty decent. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the Fire Knight. So Fire Knight, one of the tougher dungeons, definitely. So what I'm going to be doing here is I have our Apothecary coming in as the lead. Greybeard doesn't really work here because of his affinity, so I have Armiger coming in his place to do a little bit of CC for us, as well as some turn meter reduction and some damage on the boss. And then Stag Knight coming in as our AoE decreased defense / slow. War Maiden just doesn't really work here for this team. Maybe if she was 6-star, she might be able to do it, but not at the moment. Also, the slow really helps us. And then we have our Cold Heart coming in here to do the 4-hit A1 and the Heartseeker to give us the turn meter reduction. And finally, Gorgorab coming in Reliquary Tender's place. He's going to be giving us revive / turn meter boost / heals, all that good stuff. So let's come in here, we get our speed up. And so we're going to be getting through these waves pretty quickly here, I think. We get our first Heartseeker off. Errol's still looking pretty strong, though. He's going to be coming through with a big hit on us. Not too bad, actually. I forgot it's his 2nd hit that hits really hard. So if we can get him knocked down a little bit before then, that'd be nice. We do not, so Apothecary takes a big hit. but he manages to heal himself up. If he does go down, luckily we have Gorgorab here to help us out. So our Apothecary, I believe, has lower, well, he definitely has lower HP than Gorgorab, otherwise they'd be targeting Gorgorab. But he may have lower defense as well, so Gorgorab is really just going to be there to help pick him back up. If you are going to run Gorgorab in here, I would suggest having another blue affinity like Apothecary or like Tyrell or something in order to take the damage, because you don't want your Reviver taking the brunt of the damage, because if they go down, then no one is there to heal them. So this works really well. Gorgorab probably wouldn't be working nearly as well if Apothecary wasn't here. But we're making our way through the waves pretty well. As you can see, we're at 1 minute 10 seconds, and we're already most of the way through the second wave here. Errol goes down, and we are getting plenty of CC coming out between the Cold Heart and the Armiger. Obviously, they're still getting some hits in, but not nearly as much as they might otherwise. And there we go, onto the boss at 1 minute 30. And let's see, unfortunately Heartseeker comes out at a bad time, so we're going to be able to break the shield but not quite knock him down yet. Take a big hit from the Fire Knight. But we do have 2 turn meter boosters, so we can get around to our abilities a little bit faster. 2 hits left on the shield. That was an unfortunate timing. We do get our slow off though, so as soon as we come back around here, we should be able to break it pretty easily and then start getting some turn meter reduction going. Heartseeker again coming off at a really bad time though. We're just not rotating our abilities well, unfortunately. So let's see, Armiger doesn't quite make it in time. So this is going to be a pretty rough run here. If we can get this broken here though, I think we still have a pretty good chance. Alright, so here we go. Heartseeker coming off at the right time finally. So now we should be looking pretty good. Between Armiger and Cold Heart, we shouldn't have any issues with keeping this turn meter down, unless we get resisted, of course. Oh boy, this is just all sorts of fun. Cold Heart taking a big hit here. We're still looking pretty good though. Our Gorgorab has been keeping us pretty well healed. Our slow is still up and strong. Heartseeker coming off at the right time again. Get a lay to rest from our Armiger. And as long as he doesn't get resisted, there we go. I think we're looking pretty good now. We just need him to come back around one more time, and that's going to be it for the Fire Knight. Alright, so it's going to be about 3 minutes. Could have been a lot faster if we had gotten stuff working properly there. Not really something that I want. Alright, so let's go ahead and exit here. And finally, I've said it before, and I'll say it again, Gorgorab can come in here and take Arbiter's place in this team. So this is what I typically run: Arbiter into Miscreated Monster, into Ultimate Galax, Stag Knight, and our Cold Heart here. So obviously when I was showing this off, I wish that I had a Gorgorab to show you guys that it would absolutely work with Gorgorab in this place. But now I do, so we should be able to show that off just fine. And we'll come in here and get it done. So obviously we're going to start out with Gorgorab, getting his increased attack off, get our shields from Miscreated Monster, decrease defense from our Stag Knight here, and then HP burns going on the Ultimate Galax. Now we're going to come back around to our Heartseeker, boom, drop turn meter. So we've already got them down, or the spider down to about half health, and so we're going to just be able to keep pushing through. As you can see, we're keeping the turn meter down really well. If we can circle back around to a second Heartseeker by the time that this is done, then we will be looking perfect. As you can see, already 3/4 of the health gone. And is this going to be a Heartseeker here? Not quite, I don't think. It's probably next turn. Yeah, but we should be able to circle it around just fine. Gorgorab should be coming in and giving us some turn meter boost. Actually, we don't even need it. She's going to be going right here. Oh, I was off a little bit on the cooldown, so Spider might actually get a feeding here. Let's see. So Gorgorab didn't quite cycle around at the right time in order to get that increased attack up the second time on our Ultimate Galax, and I'll go ahead and show you why here. So Ultimate Galax does a increased turn meter on himself. Is it this one? Yeah. So as A1 fills this champion's turn meter by 10% if the attack is critical, fills it by 5% if the attack is not critical. So basically what he does is he buffs up his turn meter. It makes him artificially faster than he is. So as you can see here, I've got him running at 160 speed, And that works perfectly with my Arbiter for him to come back around and get that up at the right time. But my Arbiter here is at 292 speed. So obviously, and it worked just fine when she was at 260, so it doesn't have to be 290. But if Gorgorab was at that speed, I believe they're both on a 3-turn cooldown. So yeah, 3 turns and 3 turns. So if he was at least 260 speed and the ultimate Galax was at 160, you'd be able to rotate it around perfectly and get that second round of HP burns going. But since I only had, spare gear to throw on him, I couldn't quite get him to that speed. But he will work perfectly fine in that situation, even if you don't have a Cold Heart coming around for that second Heart Seeker right there. If you have just like an Armiger or something, you can still make it work perfectly fine. So that is going to be it for dungeons. Let's take a look at Arena here. So for Arena, obviously he's not going to be as good as Arbiter, but we can bring him in as our lead. So one issue that we're going to have is, let's back out here. See, I'm at about 3750 as far as ranking goes. So I'm not that close to Platinum, but I'm pretty high up in Gold. So we're going to be facing people whose Arbiters are around 300 speed, which means my Gorgorab is just absolutely going to get outclassed. But we can try and make up for that by getting Torment in here. So let's see here. This may not work out though, depending on if the Duchess is faster than their Arbiter. So come in here. The Duchess is not faster, so Torment evens it up for us. Now we can get our increased attack and turn meter boost. Come in, get the decreased defense on all of them. Then we need to take out the Duchess, hopefully. There we go. And now the Arbiter, and we are looking really solid. So now we can basically just hit auto and let them do their thing. We get the provoke, we've got a bunch of freezes going. So now just Rotos is going to come through and take them all out for us. So that's the role that our Gorgorab is going to fill. Obviously, if you want to compete at this level, you're going to need to get him closer to the 280 speed range, I think. And even then, you're going to get outsped most of the time, especially since his aura isn't as strong as an Arbiter's. So let's go ahead and give this one a try here. It's going to be the same thing. We're going to come in here, get... Oh, we actually didn't get outsped, so this is a pretty slow team. Get our boost here. And then we can get our decreased defense, decreased attack going. The Arbiter cuts in, but she freezes everyone. We're going to go knock her out. Not quite, so she's built really tanky, which is probably why she's not quite as fast. We're going to come in here, drops her next turn meter. We don't have the accuracy to do it, unfortunately. So we'll do that. And I guess that is a good point as far as building accuracy goes. If you do want him to land his Evil Eye, you do need it. So we don't want Unkillable coming off, which means we are going to try and focus Sir Nick here. That might have been a good place for healing, but I think we're going to save the revive just in case we need it. So we're going to take him out now, and then we will go A3 on Miscreated Monster here, finish him off, and then A2 on Rosin. Weak hit. Let's go ahead and get some more turn meter boost going. And now we are just on cleanup duty for this Rosin. So it shouldn't be too bad at all. There we go. So yeah, that's Gorgorab in Arena. Basically, he just fills that leader spot, gives you the turn meter boost. The faster you have him going, the better. And the faster he is, the faster the rest of your team is, the faster, or the better you will be able to compete at higher levels. So that's going to be it for Gorgorab today, guys. He can also come into a clan boss team. Mine's not built for it, so I can't really show it off well there. But if you look at my team, can't show it here. Let's see, where is it? Right here. So I have Arbiter in this place. You could absolutely bring Gorgorab in there. He wouldn't do quite as well because he doesn't do any sort of turn meter, or he doesn't do as much turn meter boosting, I should say. Between her A2 or A3 and A4, she does, I think, 50% per however many turns, whereas he only does 15%, so quite a bit less. But still, with his revive, he fills a similar role. He can also increase attack, so you get a little bit more damage off. As you can see, most of my team here is based off of attack. But yeah, so that's going to be it, guys. If you have a Gorgorab, definitely use him. He is very helpful in getting you through dungeons and basically all content in the game. Even clan boss, he can be very helpful for you. So subscribe if you haven't already. leave a comment down below or join the Discord if you have anything you'd like to talk about. I'm always happy to give you guys advice on teams for dungeons, clan boss, anything like that. And thanks for watching.